Meatballs are great meat for feeding the family, and they're economical and absolutely full of flavour. And this recipe is taken from my new book. This adheres to Sloppy Joe Meatball Bake. So that's it there. And this is my new book. It's called More Midweek Meals. I'll just show you the cover. So we have 100 new recipes. So this is taken from one of the chapters. So it's a really, really simple recipe. I'm going to literally seal off the meatballs in a moment, but make a really nice sauce first of all. So I'll just heat the pan and I'll put oil in both. So this is one that can go into a tray, into the oven. You can brown off your meatballs first in the oven, but I'm just going to speed up the process here. So in the pan, 1 onion finely diced, and then we have 1 red pepper. So that's the base, and then we're going to put a little bit of celery. So celery is beautiful. It's sometimes a little bit underused. So nice hot pan. The red pepper. You can use green pepper in this. It really doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter at all. Give that a little stir. Just while that's starting to cook, I'm not looking for colour, and I put some rapeseed oil into it. I'm going to put in some celery. So just 1 stick of celery in this. So just watch the fingers, cut it nice and fine. When you get down to the end, if you split it, and then just like that, small little dice. Call that a brunoise, that's the proper name for that. Now, so this goes in to the pan. So celery, as I say, gives lovely crunch. So I'll just let that just cook there for a moment. Just starting that nice process. So I'm using the red pepper. Of course, you can use green, you can use yellow. It doesn't really matter. On this pan here, we're going to talk about the meatballs. We're going to seal them off. So these are the Irish Angus beef meatballs. 4B quality assured. So that's what we have there. And we're just going to literally take them. So they're all kind of individually kind of rolled. So they are. And just lifting them off, we're just going to seal them off just onto the hot pan. So a light little bit of a cook. Now if you wanted to, you could start these on the pan or on the skillet pan and then put in your vegetables, but just to speed up the recipe, I think it's easier to do it like this. No need to put salt in the meatballs, these are seasoned already. And then we're going to start making our sauce. So I'm just looking for a little bit of colour. I'm not looking to cook them because I want to bake them in the oven. That's the whole idea behind this recipe, that it can be baked in the oven, just in the skillet. So that's our lovely vegetables. As you can see, no colour. I've turned up the pan. We're going to start now adding in our ingredients. So the first one is the San Marzano tomatoes. These are the best chopped tomatoes. They really are. So all of that's going to go in there. Just shake the meatballs. I'll turn them in a moment. So we're just going to stir this here. Just combine everything together. Now, so going to be lots of lovely texture. So just while that's just coming together, we're just going to turn our meatballs. And as I say, we're not looking to get too much colour. A little bit of colour is good, but they're going to be baked in the sauce. So you're kind of sealing them. That's exactly what you're doing. So I'll turn down the pan there. Just top and bottom, that's all you need to do. Lovely. So that's cooking away lovely there. Sauce has started. Now we're going to add a lot of different ingredients. Dijon mustard. So I'm going to put in 2 teaspoonfuls of Dijon mustard into the sauce. We're going to put in a little bit of sugar. So this is the lovely sweetness, because I am going to put in some cider vinegar. So I'm going to put in 3 spoonfuls of that. And then this is a beautiful cider vinegar, and this is High Bank Orchard. They're based down in Kilkenny. So you can see the way I just very carefully added that in there. Worcester sauce, that gives a beautiful flavour to this. So lots of really interesting flavours, so be very generous with this. Plenty of the Worcester sauce goes in here. And then for a little bit of a kick, this is an Irish made hot chilli sauce from mixed chilli. So just put a splash, literally a splash, because there's a good kick to this. You can put barbecue into this, or you can put the sweet chilli sauce. And as I said, that's more than a splash. So we're going to stir this through. And that's our sauce there. Now, so just give that a nice just stir, scraping it all down. And you need to taste it, because if you added too much vinegar, then you can add more sugar, so you can just vice versa. So that's the meatballs. You can see they're still raw, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to literally just give them another little flip, just because they are going to be cooked in the sauce. You don't want to cook them on the pan. Definitely don't do that. And if you're stuck for time, you can just literally make up the sauce. Sauce can be made ahead, add in your meatballs from raw and then into the oven. Right, these are some beautiful red kidney beans, and these are organic, so I've just rinsed out the water. I'll just show you there, Melda. That's them there. And that'll give lovely texture again. So this recipe is all about lots of lovely interesting flavours, you know, from the mustard to the vinegar to the Worcester sauce. There's a lot, but the base for this is the really good chopped tomatoes. So just give them a nice stir in. And even this here, you could just add in some cooked mince. You know, if you had some mince, you could brown it off. So just give that a nice stir. A little bit of salt and then some black pepper. So I already have one done in the oven. So I'm going to show you how to assemble this now. So that's our sauce done. Just bring it back to the boil, and then we're just going to literally nestle these in, snuggle these in, whatever you want to, just put them around. You can see they're still raw in the center, which is absolutely fine. And the key is to coat the meatballs with that lovely sauce. And that's why it's called a bake. It goes into the oven. It's meant to be started and finished, well, finished in the oven. So we're going to put some cheese. I'm using some of this lovely buffalo mozzarella here. So that's it there. And it's made with buffalo milk. So I'm literally just going to cut it in nice big chunks of it. So just cut it into nice big chunks and just going to literally spoon or sprinkle this around. Turn it off. So you can see that before I put the cheese in, you can see that it's nice, a little bit loose, which is absolutely perfect. And then you just arrange this. So this lovely mozzarella cheese is going to melt, give a lovely creamy effect coming through onto the sauce. I'm going to do a little bit of musical chairs. This needs to go into the oven. The oven is preheated at 180, so I have already one done, which I'm going to take out. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to put it on my little pot stand. So just to recap before I put it in, there was red pepper. We used a little bit of celery and some one onion diced in that. And then I added in the San Marzano tomatoes, the little bit of cider vinegar, Worcester sauce, hot chili sauce. That's optional because it does give a bit of a kick. Dijon mustard, a little bit of sugar for sweetness, and then the red kidney beans. So we'll just take this out. Mel will get a nice little shot of this. It's not too runny, but it is reduced a little bit, which is perfect. See the steam, see the way the mozzarella is melted. I'll just pop this in here. And then what I'm going to do then is just finish it with a little bit of chopped coriander, and that's it. It's as easy as that. You could use basil, you could use parsley, but coriander I think will work really well with all these flavours. So just gather it all up. Just watch your fingers and just literally chop that. So I've used my mini skillet, but you could use, you know, a tray, a deep tray, or like a oven to tableware if you wanted to. And then what I would serve with this is some rice. You could put it into like a brioche bun, something like that, but maybe some rice would be perfect with this, or a baked potato. But rice would be gorgeous. So that's it there. That's my Sloppy Joe meatball bake, taken from my new book, More Midweek Meals. That's it there, in case you haven't seen it already. And we have 100 new recipes in 4 different chapters. So this is taken from the One Tray dinners, or roast and tin we call it. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Remember, the key is the really, really good tomatoes, the beautiful Irish beef, and then all those lovely interesting ingredients and textures that give so much flavour and texture to the sauce. So enjoy it and happy cooking.